What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Nerdthusiast Poker Podcast. We're back with another couple episodes for you guys with Anthony Itahogi, Brian, no nickname, Keen.
Well, hold on, real quick. Public service announcement. So the last time we recorded, I referred to myself as Brian, the man Keen, and I proceeded to receive a whole lot of negative press on referring to myself as the man Keen. So from now on, I'm going to be Brian, not the man Keen.
Not the man.
So I've gotten a nickname. It's going to be not the man. I am humble. I am nowhere near the man. Okay? I'm a total nerd. I was just nervous in the moment because it was my first actual podcast filming. So to everyone out there, you haters, you trolls, I'm now not the man. Okay.
All right. Moving on. All right. So we thought that it would be cool. We stole this idea from Matt and Jenny, so we got to give them a shout out first on the other podcast on Nerdthusiast. We thought it'd be cool to do a little introduction to get to know your podcast host. So what we've done is we've wrote down 10 questions each, kind of poker somewhat related in one way or another, maybe not, that we're going to ask each other. Now here's the kicker. I don't know what he wrote and he doesn't know what I wrote. So we're going to go back and forth. So I'm kind of scared to see because I don't know what's going on in his mind. So
yeah, I went a little off script. I got some poker and then some other ones, but nothing's going to get too wild or too crazy.
Okay, so this is get to know your host. So you can have the honors of asking first.
All right, so we'll start with a poker-related question. What online site, do you prefer? WSOP or PokerStars?
Currently, I prefer WSOP. Because I like PokerStars software better, but the shared player pool is just where it's at right now. I mean, the prize pools are so much better in WSOP. We're from New Jersey, so we are lucky to play with combined player pools with like Pennsylvania. I'm not Pennsylvania yet. Vegas, Nevada, Delaware, and New Jersey.
I would say before, Black Friday. For some of you old-time grinders, I think Stars probably would have been my preferred site of choice.
Yeah.
But I think I'm in the same kind of boat. WSOP is definitely, I'd say, light years ahead of, Stars or even Borgata, Party, whatever you want to refer to it as.
I'm going to tell you this. That might change if we ever get the merger deal with Pennsylvania. Because right now in Pennsylvania, PokerStars is the only site operating in Pennsylvania. And they make as much profit every month just off that one site, their only site in Pennsylvania, as New Jersey, all the operators do to combine. So we might see huge prize pools, but I mean, Who knows? All right, I'm going to do the next one.
Go ahead.
All right, so sticking to, this one's Vegas. So what's your favorite place to eat in Vegas?
We've been a lot of places out there.
Yeah. I don't know if they had a favorite or not.
There's actually one place. It's kind of a little bit off the beaten path. It's called Hot Doggery.
Okay. I don't think I've ate there. Where's
I can't remember exactly where it is. It's on the strip, but it's kind of like tucked into a little nook. It's a specialty hot dog place. Listen,
come to the back alley, dude. Come to the back alley.
You go in there and they have like all different types of hot dogs. It's like perfect for hangovers. I'm big on when I'm hungover eating hot dogs.
Hot Doggery, Las Vegas. 3545.
It's between like two casinos.
South Las Vegas.
The link.
It's between. It looks like Flamingo and Harris.
Yeah, the Link Promenade.
Okay.
Listen, you're in Vegas. You like hot dogs? Check it out. They're kind of like gourmet dogs. They're really, really good. It's well worth the money, and if you're hungover, it's perfect for you. So.
And if you're Hot Doggery and you're listening right now and you want to sponsor us, that's cool.
Yeah, Hot Doggery.
For me, I don't even know it's there anymore. I think it's still there. I mean, I haven't been there since COVID, so who knows what's hell's open and what's not anymore. But I'm actually going to look it up if it's still there. There used to be, again, I don't think, it says it's still there. There's an oyster bar in Harris.
Dude,
so it's like a bar, but the middle's all ice. So instead of having like the alcohol, it's all ice with seafood, and you literally just tell the bartender, but you literally tell the chef what you want. They take out like the fresh seafood and they cook it for you right there. So that place is a pretty cool place. All right, you're up. What do you got for me?
All right. Well, sticking with food, which do you like better, Burger King or McDonald's?
So I've pretty much given up most fast food. I haven't eaten at either.
Oh yeah, that's because you're not eating meat, right?
Yeah. So I tried the Impossible Burger at Burger King about 6 months ago, and it ruined my weekend, dude. It just.
Ah, really?
I would say McDonald's because I like their McFlurries. I still go there once in a while on my cheat day for McFlurries. So we're gonna have to go with McDonald's on this one.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat, especially once you have kids. McDonald's is
Happy
like,
Meal.
oh my god, it's so clutch. The same thing. I didn't really eat fast food for years and years and years, but as soon as you have kids, everything goes out the window. You pretty much go whatever's quick and easy. So, go ahead, you're up.
Simple one here. You prefer tournaments or cash?
Oh, that's easy. Actually, it's not really that.
Yeah, because I was trying to think. I was like, I don't know. I think he kind of goes a little both ways here. I don't know.
I mean, I love cash games just because you can pick up at any time, and I think it's a lot more social. Like,
yeah. Or it was. We'll talk about that later.
I would say probably cash only for that aspect. Nothing's worse than sitting at a tournament for 10 hours and like busting right before day 2 or like busting in like a brutal fashion. Where with cash, it's like, all right, I lost my $200 or my $300 or whatever my buy-in is. It's not really that big a deal. But I would definitely say if I'm going to play live poker, it's definitely cash.
Okay, so
yeah,
I'm tournaments. For me, it's tournaments for sure. I like playing a little bit low limit cash. Like I've enjoyed it more and more. And funny thing is, I've been pretty profitable on like the 1-2, 1-3, mostly 1-3 games. I don't know why. I mean, I guess there's slight differences, but over the last like 2 years, just tracking some of my 1-3 status, like it's actually been pretty decent. It's actually saved me a couple trips. It's been my 1-3 games, but tournaments is definitely for me.
Yeah. All right. All right. So, playing cards. Do you prefer Faded Spade or Copag?
So I like the Faded Spade. Actually, I have these right here because we have our poker league tonight. I'm not promoting this, I swear. I like the Faded Spade 4-color decks. I like the 4-color decks on the Faded Spade. Look, I think Copeg also has the 4-color decks too. But so I would say I'm a fan of both, but I like the 4-color deck better. Just from playing online, I think it just adjusted more for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go against that.
You like Copeg?
Yeah, I don't prefer the 4-colored decks. They're a little bit confusing for me.
Yeah.
I like the traditional, regular playing cards. And I think Copag puts out a good product, so I guess we're at odds in that one.
Oh, good. All right, so this is a loaded question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ready? Would you rather win the main event once, but then never cash ever again?
Jesus.
The WSOP main event. Yeah. Or would you rather be the most profitable tournament player ever, but never win a tournament ever?
No, it would be win the main event.
Just once. But then you would never cash. So people trash you for the rest of your life.
That's the definition of my poker career at this point. I have some solid wins, but not consistent wins. So if I won the main event once, that would wipe out and put me in like a higher echelon. I don't care if I'd never cash again. I probably would never play poker again. If I won like $8 million, what would the point? There'd be no point.
I think that's like the Peter Eastgate. Like he just kind of won it. He played a little cash afterwards, and then he was like, screw this. I think some people kind of they hit that peak, and they're just like, what's next? Unless you're gonna play like the super high rollers, like if you're chasing like that thrill, it's like maybe not there anymore.
Yeah, it would definitely be, and the prestige that comes with winning the main event.
Okay.
Like you get the whole year of just positive press and good publicity. You come back for the next year at the series, and everyone's like in awe of you. You know what I mean? That's all I would need. I could go out like a star after that, and like I said, $8 million, like. I'm never gonna make $8 million over a lifetime. I have like 40,000 in earnings now. I've been playing poker for like 20 years. All right. Getting off the poker. Now you're an 80s, 90s kid. Arnold or Stallone?
Oh, Arnold. Definitely Arnold, man. Terminator. Definitely. I mean, listen. I know. Wait. So are you? Yeah, but that's a good one for you.
Yeah, it is a difficult one.
That's difficult for you. I love Terminator, so I would have to go with Arnold. I mean, obviously the Rocky films are your shit, so that's up there. Yep. But I don't know, man. Arnold, I literally have an Arnold motivational poster in my room.
Yeah. My workout room would have one.
So wait, who is it for you?
I'm leaning more towards Arnold just because he had a lot. I think he had a lot more and a lot better action movies.
Mm-hmm.
When we were growing up, Predator, the Terminator movies, The Running Man. I mean, you can keep going on. Total Recall. Obviously, my favorite movies are Rockies.
Stallone had Over the Top though, so we have to remember that one.
Tango and Cash, it's a classic. So, Cliffhanger, come on. But I have to go with my man Arnold.
All right. So, what is the best kept secret that you've learned about in Vegas from all the years you've gone there?
The best kept secret.
It's a little on the spot. I'm trying to think something maybe random that you've found or.
Oh, that's pretty simple.
Really?
I mean, I don't know if it's really a secret, but the Flamingo Poker Room has some of the best poker games in all of Vegas.
We joke about this too. If you're a low limit player like us, if you're looking for 5-10 games or you're looking for the high roller shit, that's not it. But if you're a regular Joe, which 95% of us are, and you're heading out to Vegas, I agree 100%. Flamingo Poker Room cash game is just it is. Well, I don't know about the rest of the year, but I can definitely say during the World Series of Poker, it's literally some of the worst players. Yeah. I think we've probably made more. We definitely have made more profit there than playing in tournaments. 100%.
Absolutely, 100%.
That's what I'm talking about. I'll lose buy-ins. I'll lose a couple grand in tournament buy-ins, and I'll make up 3/4 of it. And I'm like, it wasn't that bad of a week. I made up the Flamingo cash.
Exactly.
Room.
Yeah.
The Flamingo cash room is definitely. There is some really profitable spots.
What's great about it is we only go there once a year, but when we go back, all the reg dealers
are still there,
and they all remember who we Hey Brian, what's going on? Dude? We're regs to them because they see us for those week or 10 days, every night or every day, just grinding. And they're like, "Oh, what's going on? You guys back again?"
What's also awesome, man. Now I'm missing Vegas even more. Is when we're sitting there, right? And so there. If you've never seen it, it's open, and then the strip is if we're sitting here playing, the strip is that way, right behind there, probably about 50 yards away, not even. And so. What's funny is when one of your buddies busts out of a tournament and they make the walk of shame into the poker room and you're like, you busted.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, that is a good one.
And then they have that free roll at the if you play so many hours in a week, you have to pay I don't even know 15 or 50 hours or something like that.
15 grand free roll or something every Friday, or I don't even know what it is, but yeah, that's a good one.
Let's see. So back to poker, and I think I might know the answer to this one. Live poker or online poker?
You know what, dude? It's not that easy. I thoroughly enjoy both. And so the thrill of winning a live tournament outweighs an
100%.
online.
Yeah.
But I've had more success online. I stream, obviously. I enjoy it more. I have a community that I engage with. So it's I don't know. I equally love both for different aspects of each. I don't have a clear answer for that. I don't prefer one or the other, and I think I balance it too. So I play back pre-COVID. I would play a tournament series every month. I would make a plan at least 1 or 2 days to go to a major event. We were lucky in here in the Northeast. We had something going on literally every month.
Real.
So I always made a plan to make it, and then I play home games, which I also love. I don't know. I just love all aspects of it, and it just weighs it out. So it breaks up the grind. So instead of grinding for all month online, I take a couple days off and I go play live. I don't know. I like them both.
Yeah.
I don't have a clear answer.
I mean, mine is 100% live. If I had to answer it.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
I'd say maybe back in college, again, pre-Black Friday, I would prefer the online game, and I think that's just because. I don't want to say we had an edge, but I felt like I was a more winning player back then than I am now, and I think because the learning curve, there's so many better players online.
Yeah. I don't play cash online at all because it's too.
Oh yeah, no. Mm-mm.
And I think the other thing that maybe you experienced more was that online pre-Black Friday was you could do a $20 tournament and change your life. You could do a $20 tournament and win $50,000.
Yeah, no, you're right.
$20. Now you might win $500 $5,000 or $4,000, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But like, you know, back full tilt days, they literally had those like $10 rebuys. First place like 75,000 off $10. You're like, how is this even possible?
Yeah.
It was like, you know, so it was more thrilling to make a deeper run.
Yeah.
All right. Who is the most? I don't know how I'm gonna word this because I have notes. The most. What celeb or poker player celeb? It could be a real celebrity or poker player celebrity. Have you met that has made you awestruck in life? It doesn't have to be in Vegas. Just anywhere. It's like, who is the celeb you ran into or poker player you ran into that you just like, oh, you know, like really, were like, wow, you were like awestruck, like a little kid.
Oh, I mean, I don't want to say, it might come across the wrong way, but like Maria Ho, like.
All right, so I'm gonna have to end. I'm gonna have to add in another question because that was another question.
I mean, look, I was playing like 2 years ago at the series next to this dude, and he was talking about her like he knew her, and I'm like, what? He's like, yo, you want to meet her? And I was like, no, I don't want to meet her. Like he was dead serious, but like I have like a mini crush.
So that was that was a 2-part question, I guess, because I had a poker crush question.
Like, listen, there's a lot of attractive women that play poker, but she stands out as one of the, you know, and she's a really good player. Like the chick crushes, you know what I mean? So that would probably be it.
All right, we're gonna have to add another question in here though. I think off the top of my head. Okay.
Haven't met her though, so Maria.
Oh,
I know you're not watching, but if you happen to come across this and you ever want to meet me, tweet me at Brian Keene 0513 on Twitter. Is that like the handle? I think that's my handle. It'll be in the comments, Maria. I love you. All right, so switching gears. Again, we grew up 80s, 90s. You know, best era of probably a lifetime.
80s definitely best. That's the question.
Better video game system growing up. Nintendo, NES, or Sega Genesis?
Oh, Nintendo. I mean, Sega was cool. I actually just watched a documentary on talking about Sega when they were talking about it, how they branded it and stuff like that. Sega had that like cool edge for like a minute, like, oh shit, he's got a Sega, like, you know what I mean? Like it was cool, like you had like for a second, but I think overall, legacy wise, I mean Nintendo was just, and there's just so many classic games, and I thoroughly enjoyed more. There's more Nintendo games that I enjoyed than Sega. I mean, there's a couple, but I actually just tweeted on the Nerdthusiast. Did you see it? Zombies Ate My Neighbor.
Yeah, I saw it today.
I saw that picture. And I was like, man, that just, sometimes you see this nostalgia and it just brings you right, like a memory that you like would never have thought about ever again, and all of a sudden you're like,
the first thing that came to mind was those big babies. You're waddling all around, you're shooting with the bazooka. Listen, if you guys are interested with Nerdthusiast video game podcast, we got one. Touches on new games, old games, retro games. You're right though, with Sega, if you had a Sega, it always branded as like the badass. Yeah. And it touched on that in that documentary, because I know what you're talking about. I watched the same thing.
Which one was it? High Score?
Yeah, High Score on Netflix.
They talked about how they like really were like really over the top, like going after Nintendo and making them seem like they were the like little kid
version. Yep. But I mean, come on. I at one time had like close to 500 different regular Nintendo games. I'm a Nintendo nerd. I have a Switch. I've had every system. I still have every system. So
Nintendo all the way.
Yeah, Nintendo definitely.
My kids they're all on the Switch now. I mean, they do. You know, the products are so good.
Yep.
All right. What is the first time you remember ever playing poker? It doesn't have to be like in a casino. Like, I mean, like the first, even as a little kid, like what's the first time you remember like playing cards for like some form of currency or cookies or like could be anything, like candy, pennies? When was the first time?
That's actually a good one.
Yeah.
I remember growing up, my grandmom, she taught me how to play 5-card draw poker as like, 8 or 9, playing for like pennies.
Okay.
And then we actually played for like, you remember what tiddlywinks? You know what tiddlywinks are?
Yeah.
You would like snap them.
Yep.
Yeah. We used to like kind of set up chips and we would play like betting.
They're
like
basically
that.
like little mini chips.
They're little like mini chips. Yeah. Yep. And that's the first time I remember ever playing like regular poker. But then back then, this is what kind of screwed me up when I first started playing, is that you could make like a straight using like a king and jack, an ace, a 2 or 3.
To go up and down.
Yeah, up and down. So like the first time I played Hold'em, I had like a 3 high straight off of a queen, and I'm like straight, and everyone's like, nah, dude, it doesn't work like that. So needless to say, when I first started playing Texas Hold'em, I got my ass kicked.
Wait, so when was that though? When was the first time you remember?
Oh, that was college.
I know, but do you remember like what it was or where you were?
It was like in the apartments at Stockton University now, but it was Stockton College at the time.
Whose apartment?
Shout out to the Ospreys.
Whose apartment do you remember?
I don't even remember, but I know Jim Higgins played with Higgins. And he was like the shark then. He knew how to play. He had been in AC. He was playing, and I just remember like a little $5 tournament and just automatically getting hooked. Like
I think the first time. Okay, so first time I ever played was in 5th grade that I remember, and we were playing like the end of school, like one of those last school days.
Yeah.
That's the first time I remember ever like that I can physically remember playing. I kind of remember playing at my grandma's too, but I don't know if that was after that or before then at her kitchen table. But around the range, so those are the first 2 memories I have. College, you guys got into it first.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, but I didn't jump into it right away. Like, it didn't catch me right away. And then you guys were all playing, and I kind of was like, okay. And side note, Chris Moneymaker won it, and he was our same fraternity that me and Brian were in in college. So it caught our eyes later. But I remember you guys were all into it, and I was working at the Flying Cloud, which doesn't exist anymore. It was a seafood restaurant in Atlantic City. And so you guys were all into it. And I remember, I think the first place wait, did you live with Brian Gray or no?
No. Chuck and them.
That's right. Mm-hmm. So I think the first time I ever played was in Brian Gray's apartment. And I remember, like, either that day or the day before, I was working the Flying Cloud, and you guys invited me to play. And I was like, yeah, I'll play. It was like a $5 tournament, like you guys were playing. You guys already had like a month or 2 knowledge on me, so I was like a couple months behind.
Yeah, you were the noob losing the straight with the 3. Yeah.
So, but here's the thing, and this is probably what screwed me up for life. But so I remember being in the Flying Cloud, and then JT Money, he knew how to play too. Like he knew the basics. I'm like, JT, explaining. We were on like break because it was slow, so we were using sugar packets, and he was explaining to me like the blinds and like all this stuff. I knew like a straight, a flush. I knew that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, the details, but I knew like the basics. And so I remember I either came in first or second at Brian's Gray's house, but you guys kept shitting on me because I was playing like Queen 4 and I would hit like a queen and I like bet all the way.
Yeah.
And then you guys like, how do you bet all that like that? I remember like Brian Gray's talking shit on me the whole time.
You got the beginner's luck.
Yeah. And I was just hitting everything and I'm like, I don't know, I got a pair. I'm just going to go with it, right?
Yep.
But that was the first place I remember like really playing for like cash. So that was what, 2003?
Yeah, 2003.
All right.
That was your question.
You're up.
Okay. This is like a lose-lose question, but geez. I feel like everyone has a preference.
Okay.
Which would you rather lose with? Aces or kings?
I'd rather lose with aces because not going to say it's out of my control, but it's like, dude, if you get it all in a spot where, like, let's say the board's like, Jack 9-5 and like you get it all in on the flop, right, or something. There's so many variables, but let's say you just get it on the flop and the dude has I'm trying to think how I'll explain it. I think there's spots where you can get away with kings, like you can like fold kings in certain spots, like definitely post flop, and lose like comfortably. But like I'm trying to think how I'll explain this. So like if I had kings on a spot and I'm like, shit, I should have laid this down. I knew I should have laid this down, whatever. It's like, I blame it on myself.
Yeah.
But with aces, I'm like, what am I going to do?
Exactly.
Well, I'm not laying this spot down. You know what I mean? So if I lose in that spot, I lost a spot. And like, maybe there's a spot that there's like a 4-card flush on board and I have to fold or whatever. But I think I'd rather lose with aces because I feel better about myself and like, be like, what was I going to do?
Yeah. It's out of your control, really.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree.
What's the thing you miss most about Vegas 2020 since we couldn't go this year?
Oh man, I kind of already said it, and we talked about before. Is like the Flamingo, the Flamingo cash games, just that whole atmosphere. I mean, look, we don't make millions of dollars or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, but I'd say we're loyal to a fault. At least I am.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first Vegas experiences that I had was staying at the Flamingo in my mid-20s, and like I've stayed other places. I've stayed at the Ritzy joints, and I've stayed at the bottom of the barrel, like the old strip.
Yeah, we've stayed in literally. The first time we were in Vegas together, we literally stayed in a closet on an old place that's not on Fremont Street anymore. Literally, it was. This room is about 3 times the size of it that we're in right now.
Yeah. I had alcohol poisoning in there. I probably should have went to the hospital.
That's a whole lot. We should make that a story. Like, we should have future ones, story time, Vegas story time, because we got a couple.
But yeah, like I just find myself having the most fun when I stay at the Flamingo on the strip, in not like the most expensive place or the most off the beaten path or even like off the strip. Like, it's just the atmosphere.
It's right in the center.
That's what I miss. I mean, that the land and then the taxi ride or the Uber to the Flamingo and then just all that. Yeah, I miss all that.
I was actually invited on a podcast last month. It's called The Better's Life. If you want to check it out, guys, it's on Better's Life. But we talked about this, and he's asked me where I stayed, and he I don't remember if he kind of was like, what? Like, he was kind of thrown back when I said the Flamingo, and like you said, dude, like, I don't know, like, here's the thing. One, I like the Rio for the fact that if I, like, bust out of the tournament, I can go right up to my room, or if we're on break and I gotta use the bathroom, I can go use my room real quick, grab a snack, I can relax and lay down on my couch or whatever up in the room. But at the same time, you're surrounded by, like, all bad beat players that are just complaining, like the Flamingo, like, removes you from that Rio, like, depressing atmosphere after you lose, and it's like the pool party's going on, there's like a twerk contest, like there's a DJ outside the pool, you're like, all right, there's flamingos. I don't know, it's just, so
it's kind of in the center too, like
it's right in the middle. You can literally walk to everything.
Caesar's right across the way. You got the Venetian down, a little bit of a walk, but it's still within walking distance. Like, a lot of the bigger casinos with like decent poker rooms are all within walking distance. You know, obviously, if you're going to the Rio, you got to take an Uber or a cab or whatever.
I've walked to the Rio depressingly before, so that's a story for another day.
That's a good question. I like that question. All right, this is kind of like an open-ended one. I did have where do you prefer, but you asked the question, it got me to change that up. Do you remember the first time you went all in at a casino?
I remember my first casino trip was the Borgata. First casino trip, I lost, so I definitely went all in there. So that would be the first time. That was when the old Borgata poker room was downstairs, where like the lounge is now.
Yeah, where the food court is.
So that was the first time I remember, and so I remember it was like right around Christmas time, and I think me and Morosi, actually coincidentally, who is the CEO of Nerdthusiast, we went together because I called him up because he was into it too because he was hosting the games. And I had been playing now for about a month or two back at school because we came back to school that fall, and then I started getting into it heavy. Because you guys were playing all summer.
Yeah.
That summer before. You guys were playing all summer because Moneymaker got popular. You guys were playing all summer. I didn't jump into it till like maybe October range.
You were also late turning 21. You're one of the later guys. Like, you're July. I was May.
It had to be November, December. I went there and I just got smoked. Like we played... I don't even know what it was. It's probably 2-4. I'm assuming I think it was 2-4 we played limit. And I just got cleaned out for like $70 and I was like, this is the worst thing ever.
$70, that's great.
Yeah. I remember calling Rosie, I'm like, let's go. I just like watch rounders. I'm all like juiced up.
Yep.
So do you remember your first casino? Was it Borgata as well?
Yeah, it was Borgata.
Yeah.
I actually, surprisingly, I had played up to like 6-12. But back then, I played so like nuts and bolts.
I remember you playing 6-12. Actually, that's funny. I do remember that.
And I had never gotten all in 6-12. It wasn't until I switched over to 1-2 no limit, and I remember I had pocket eights, and I vividly remember this and the feeling, like my heart was like jumping out of my chest. I actually had quad eights versus another dude, aces over eights. And it was the very first time I went all in because I was such a nit. I would never go all in.
I remember. It's funny that we're doing this because I remember you playing 6-12 for a while before you.
Yeah, I played that for a real long time, and I just remember like scooping that pot, and it was like like $400, $500 at the time.
You're like, what's limit poker?
Oh my god! I was like so juiced. I like called my boy from my like singular Nokia 1. I'm like, dude, I just played Snake and I just got a full. I just busted into it with a full house. Snake. Oh, it was great. It was great. But yeah, I vividly remember it was the first time and I won. And then I've lost multiple times all in since then.
So. All right, so I had it because I asked the Poker Crush. I thought you were gonna go more celebrity, but you went Poker Crush with that. That's fine. So what is your favorite poker movie that is not Rounders?
Oh, The Grand.
Right.
Right here.
That wasn't planned. That's a fun movie.
That's a great movie. It's like a spoof comedy on poker, but it's
definitely an underrated.
It's really good.
It's definitely underrated.
Check it out.
We might have to do a movie. We should do some different movie reviews of like some like underground kind of poker movies. That might be a good one to do in the future.
I mean, there aren't many out there that focus strictly on poker playing. Like The Gambler, they tried to put that twist on it, and you're like, oh, I can't wait till that comes out. And you watch it, and you're like so disappointed.
Yeah, it's like one scene.
Molly's Game was good. Like that had a lot to do with like playing, but it didn't really have much poker playing. It had a lot about like just the games and like the hidden world of poker.
Did you see Mississippi Grind?
I did see that. That's pretty good, but that mixes other things into it. It's more like a gambling
story.
Yeah. I would say The Grand. Check it out. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to. Who's in that? That's
Woody Harrelson's in there. Who's else on there? David Cross.
Yep.
Chris Parnell. Yeah, it's definitely an underrated film.
It's good. It's good.
Did I snag that poster from? I forget where it was. It was like they were like one of those like bins where they're just gonna throw them out.
Yeah.
Like, oh snap! And it's a like straight to DVD like poster. So I gotta fix a little bit. But yeah, that's an original poster I got.
Yeah, when I bought the DVD pack, it came with the poster, but it was all folded up, so you can't get the lines out of it. Yeah.
All right, you're up.
All right, so we'll end with a poker question. We'll go back to the 80s, 90s.
Wait, I'm on 9. How did I get 1?
Yeah, I have 2 more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, you're going to end with it. I got you.
We're going to end with a poker question.
Gotcha.
So, switching gears. Hulk Hogan or Randy the Macho Man Savage?
Macho Man. My Twitch followers know I am a Macho Man fan. I dress up like Macho Man every year. You've never seen it. It's actually hilarious.
Because I would troll the crap out of it.
It's so funny. Dude, I wear a bandana with ski mask and like I do the whole voice like, oh yeah. Dude, and I do it and we do it for like donations and stuff for like charity. But
that's
dude,
great.
Macho Man is my shit.
I mean, look, as a little kid, Hogan was the man, but I just feel like Macho Man, he had so much more personality that just made you just love him. Like he was just great growing up, and I feel like that's the one thing that like wrestling nowadays is missing. And again, we have a Nerdthusiast wrestling podcast. It's great. Chris and Kyle, they do a really great job. They're into it. They're total nerds with it. And we talked about this before. Is that a lot of wrestling now? They don't have the personality or the story to go with them. It's there was just so much
Joe Smith and Ron. It's like just plain like
it was like a soap opera built into what it was, and it was just great. Like and as you didn't know it was fake until you were a certain age, and you were like so. I remember I was just so disappointed. Like, wait a minute, Macho Man Hogan didn't really steal Macho Man's girl. That was all scripted. Like, it was great. So, yeah, I was a Macho Man fan.
What is your guilty pleasure poker hand? Like the hand that you shouldn't play, but you're like, oh, it just looks so good.
Oh, dude, 7-6 suited,
really?
100%.
Like
yeah.
Okay.
It's like I rarely, and I mean rarely, fold that. Like I'll open, and if someone 3-bets me, I'm probably going with it. It's definitely like one of my favorite hands, and other than Jack 10, I think it has like the most odds to win or to like bust another hand. Like I remember reading in a book, I can't remember what, but like those two hands, 7-6 suited and Jack 10 suited, have like the best possibilities to crack big hands. Yeah.
So Jack 10's my guilty pleasure.
It's probably for the same reason.
I've tightened up a lot more with it, but I would play too much out of position, certain spots I shouldn't have played it in. But Jack 10 is my guilty pleasure hand.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So your last question.
And it adds up to 13. So like, I was born in the 13th month. 13th is my favorite number. Like, 0513. I'm a total nerd.
See, I didn't think that far into
Yeah,
it.
it's. I mean, look, my nerd. Sorry. All right, so I get.
You get one
more, and then you're done.
Yeah.
Okay. So, would you rather flop the nuts or suck out on the river?
Oh, flop the nuts. I did. Some people like, I like the rush of like getting there. I'm like, dude, I want to know like on the flop, like it's mine to control. Like I'm like, that's it, game over. Like I hate the feeling of like there's that one card to come to destroy me. Like I want the ultimate nuts, like right on the flop, give it to me, game over. Like give me the full house on the flop, and I'll just ride it out from there.
Yeah, see, that's where we differ.
You like?
I mean, listen, flopping the nuts is great, but then you always, like, for me, I'm always like, man, how much should I bet to keep this person in, or should I bet, or shouldn't I bet, or whatever. Mm-hmm. But when you spike that, like, you know, that river card, that like 4%er, you know what I mean, or that, you know, that 2-outer, and you're just like, boom, baby, yeah. It's like it's the ultimate feeling.
It's a great feeling.
It's the ultimate feeling. Yeah, so personally, it's definitely sucking out in the river, especially if it's against someone that, you know, has been giving it to me. I don't really like. It's like vindication.
All right, here's my last question. What is one casino or place that you have not been to yet that you would like to go play?
Casino or place,
or like maybe a place that has an event or something like that. Like somewhere you would like to travel to play.
I mean, I played in a lot of different places. Probably California.
That's the same.
I haven't been to California. I was supposed to go this past year. I was supposed to go to San Diego, but that fell through. Yeah, I'd like to go see like Commerce Casino and some of the bigger casinos out there, and give that a try. See how that is. See how those games are.
Yeah, there's some like legendary, like from a lot of books I've read. There's just like legendary places I just would like to just go and play, like the Bicycle and just some of those places. But yeah, California is actually on my list. It's one place I have not played in yet, so I would love to go out there. I was actually really close to going to one a couple years ago for a circuit event, and it didn't pan out. But I would love to try. That's the one place I'll try.